Hi everyone, my name is Cassie Bivens, and today I want to talk to you about my favorite thing, which is actually two things that I've learned in this class, and that's the Jungian personality types and the MBTI. So, a little bit of background. In 1921, Carl Jung published Psychological Types. It outlined the idea that people each have their own psychological type based on their own preferences, and it was split into two main types, extroverted and introverted. From there, he further split those two types into two different perceiving inclinations, which were sensation and intuition, and two different judging inclinations, which were thinking and feeling. So, two main overarching types were extroverted and introverted, and then there were four subtypes from there. Catherine Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers used Jung's psychological types as a basis for their MBTI, or Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. So, Jung believed that people typically have four basic psychological functions and that one of them is typically dominant for each individual. Those were sensation, intuition, feeling, and thinking. And although the MBTI has its foundation in Jung's theories on psychological types, Jung believed in more of a projective rather than a structured approach. The MBTI used more of a structured approach, which Jung didn't necessarily believe in. So the differences in the approaches could potentially affect how the results are interpreted. The projective approach, should it be used in this situation, could potentially yield different results with a different meaning. But we won't really know that because we can't go back and ask Carl Jung what he would think about it. So we have the MBTI. The MBTI results are a combination of four different letters. The first one indicates whether an individual is extroverted or introverted. The second shows whether an individual bases their experiences more on sensation or intuition. The third one indicates whether an individual leans more towards thinking or feeling. And the fourth letter was actually not originally in one of Jung's psychological types. It was added by Myers-Briggs, and it indicates an individual's more preferred extroverted function. So those were split into perception and judging. My results were ISTJ, and as you can see from here, that's introverted, sensing, and thinking and judging. My introversion, sensing, and judging traits were all, I was definitely inclined towards those three traits, but the thinking trait, you can see my results for that were very high. So for me, that makes total sense. I've always been someone who thinks much more logically than emotionally, and I sort of base my life around that. So this is just a little blurb from the website about what my results mean. Serious and quiet, interested in security and peaceful living, very thorough, responsible, and dependable. Well-developed powers of concentration, usually interested in supporting and promoting traditions and establishments. Well-organized and hardworking, work steadily towards identified goals, and can usually accomplish any task once they've set their mind to it. So this is sort of known as like the duty fulfiller personality type. So from the MBTI website, this is kind of what I got just breaking down my results. So being introverted means that I get my energy from my inner self rather than the outer world or others. I prefer doing things alone or with one or two close people. I would say that's definitely accurate. I'm not one of those people who, likes to study in groups, likes to go to the gym with a partner. I'm definitely someone who likes to do things like that alone. In terms of sensing, I rely on my senses and direct observation, base my life around facts. Definitely true. I'm a biology major. I definitely, base my thoughts more on things that I can see and feel that are right in front of me, rather than things that are a little bit more abstract. For the thinking trait, I make decisions based on logic and reason. I don't usually allow feelings to get in the way. That was my strongest trait. That's something I definitely agree with. And for judging, I prefer my life to be planned, organized, and orderly. 100% me. I've always been sort of a type A personality. So based on this, I had other people in my life take the test as well because I was interested to see what they got. And I actually had my boyfriend take the test and was kind of surprised to see that we ended up getting the same personality type. Out of all the types that there were, I personally don't think our personalities are that similar. But I guess it kind of explains a lot about why we do get along so well. And then based on that, I had other people in my life take the test as well. I had a lot of my coworkers take it, and the coworkers that I got along with best actually ended up getting the same personality type as me also. So I just thought that was really interesting. I've always found different personality types to be really fascinating. Something about this test, though, is that requires the test taker to be self-aware, so that could be a potential problem if someone taking the test is not self-aware and sort of assigns themselves the wrong traits through the assessment. So though there are definitely some criticisms of the test, its results were really accurate for me. In the future, I would be interested to see if the accuracy of the results depends on the person's personality type. So, would ENFP, which is the opposite of my personality, also think that their results are accurate? And then finally, I think that a similar algorithm could be used for things like dating sites, matching up teams to work on projects together at work or school, a way to meet new friends. The possibilities here are really endless. And I think that matching up personalities could have just so many potential applications in everyday life.